Hey, what's up guys, it's Luke. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, I just want to say real quick, if you guys fuck with my reactions, you want to see me play games live, you want to see me talk about shit, or you just fuck with live shit, check out my Twitch channel at Go Live damn near every day. Link in the description down below. I hope to see you guys there and enjoy the rest of the video. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We got a Hassan video today. I don't know how to pronounce my boy last name. I'm not gonna lie, Anabi. I don't want to be rude, you feel me, and disrespect his name if that's his real last name, or even if it's not, I don't want to disrespect his name. But we got a Hassan video. I saw this on my feed like yesterday, I believe, and I was like, nah. I'm interested to see, has Kanye gone full Nazi? Because I watched a part of the interview. I didn't finish the interview. Let me preference everything I'm about to say.
Kanye West talking to Christopher Cuomo on News Nation, which I'm still unfamiliar with what that is really. But apparently Kanye West, dude, I think I could get him at this point. Like, if he's going on News Nation, why doesn't he come on my broadcast? You know what I mean? Like, there's
True.
more people watching me. There's like 100 times more people watching me than them.
True.
The man himself, Kanye West. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes,
but that's my nigga. That's my nigga Como brother though. That's a big dude. Como was a governor. Niggas know him.
Can you hear me and see me?
I can. I see you. You're in the back of a car. You got a hoodie and a hat on.
Okay, cool. I see.
This nigga just tried to flip me.
You guys are supposed to be made aware.
Also, before I say this, I'm not too. Okay, that's his stream. I'm not too familiar with Hassan. Never really watched Hassan stream. I only watch them, in all honesty, when he's interacting with people I watch. Yeah.
Use my legal name, Ye. I've changed my name like how Cassius Clay changed his name to Muhammad Ali. I'm sure you guys didn't meet.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, Muhammad Ali and Kanye West on similar arcs currently. It's so cool. Love to see love to see independent thinkers like this. You know, activists.
I'm gonna shut up. It's only a minute. I'm gonna shut up.
You can say formerly known as Kanye West if you like to, but my name is Ye.
Why'd you change it?
Just, sir.
Because he's a billionaire.
Just have the name changed.
We'll change it.
Yo, thank you, finance dreamer. Thank you, because legitimately, whether or not you want to say, sure, Ali went crazy, but whether or not you want to say he's not as inspirational, as motivational, or whatever the case may be, or even as noble in what he's saying, what he's doing, how he's living. I actually gotta change. I gotta change the scene a bit. Because I kind of wanted to do it on this one. Cool. But yeah, like I was saying, even if you want to say he's not as influential, motivational, impactful, etc., if his legal name is now Ye, there's no reason why we're laughing at it. His name is fucking Ye. Whether he changed it because he thinks he's Muhammad Ali or not, is like, still his name is fucking Ye. But sure. Yeah, just call the nigga Ye. It's not that deep. I don't even think that's commentable. Like, it's like, oh, okay, cool. He changed his name to Ye. Well, he's
we'll change it.
Yeah, but
we'll change it. I'm asking you, why'd you change it? Just so people can understand.
Yay!
Oh, they changed that shit. They changed that shit quick.
An explanation to start off with. I have the right
to change his name.
I have the right in America to vote on whoever I want to vote on.
Facts.
We have certain rights where, as celebrities and even as the black voting bloc, as they call it, the black vote, are forced to, always talk about their finances, always talk about their names. But it was really the name West is a slave name, and I wanted to free myself of all of the older mentality. That is the reason I'm telling you that. Understood
and appreciated.
Fucks with you, Kanye.
All right, so let's go. Now, what's the questions we got?
So first one is, where you are, there is
he's so dumb.
Curiosity.
What about Kanye? Actually based, I understood. Some dumb shit. He's driving broke. Can you look at Como?
Is that why you're traveling right now?
No, I'm actually going to meet with the CEO of Parler right now.
So slavery was a choice, though.
It's going to happen?
Yeah, absolutely.
And why do you
I was
want
actually
Parler?
funny.
Well, just the CEO is just really incredible. Like what he's been able to do. Like even before.
Yeah, he took like a bullshit fucking platform and ran it to the ground. It was pretty sick. I mean, it was already destined for failure because like that business model was really bad. But also, it's pretty cool when you have, you know, when you have an application that gets kicked off of all of the
Parler app.
marketplaces, specifically because of their loose moderation, which is kind of their business model. You know
What is
I mean?
Parler
Their
app?
business model is what inevitably got them banned. So, you know, that was a really cool thing that happened.
Or why would I remain in a place where I'm just tolerated? Why not go to a place where I'm celebrated? It's actually something Kid Rock just gave me a text about that. Go to places where you're celebrated, not where you're just tolerated.
That's a fact. As black people, that's one thing.
Hugbox, he said Kid Rock, bro. Look how the mighty have fallen. Holy shit.
Tolerated. You know, I bring a lot of.
It's a Hugbox. He said Kid Rock, bro. Look how
Kid
the
Rock.
mighty have fallen. Holy shit. He said, my friend Kid Rock. Oh my god, dude. How is he not recognizing that like these dudes are all fucking whack? Like how? Like deep down inside, there's got to be still the eye for what is like actually genuinely disruptive and unique. There's got to be that inside of you somewhere. And when you find yourself talking to fucking stale cigarette smelling ass Kid Rock, something has to trigger inside of your brain where you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life right now?
Who the fuck is Kid Rock? Okay, that's like, does Ye know about the emotions? Okay, anyway, who the fuck is Kid Rock? I don't know who the fuck Kid Rock is. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you can tell by the color of my skin. Probably wouldn't, and my age range as well, probably wouldn't know who Kid Rock is. Anyway, though, that being said, as black people, that's one thing I want us to really get to a place of like agreement on. He's not wrong in go where we're celebrated, not tolerated. A lot of the industries and things of that nature, especially the ones that are making us money, don't really celebrate us. They don't like us. Prime example was Kai in the Twitch situation, or just the biggest streamers on Twitch being black for the most part nowadays. Like in the top 10, there's like we're like a third. I'm pretty sure of the biggest streamers in the world. We're like a third of them, and yet there's no representation. So we're not celebrated by Twitch. We're just tolerated. And the minute we fuck up, it's like, get the fuck off my platform, nigga. Like, on some real shit. Like, niggas might not agree with it, but that's really what it feels like. Like, as a viewer, and I'm pretty sure as the streamer as well. Like, that's what it feels like. You're just tolerated here until you fuck up. So, I agree with it. And we're not celebrating a lot of places. So, we should make places where we're celebrated. If that's what he's doing with the Parler app, sure, because I don't really know too much about Parler. I'm not gonna lie.
Right now,
I'm not gonna act like I do.
Attention to these platforms, to Instagram.
That's a fact.
And to Twitter, and they silo you.
That's a fact. I didn't have social media for a minute, and I jumped on Instagram and Kanye started going at these fucking. I had social. Don't get me wrong. I had social media at that point. I've had it for like 2 weeks at that point again. After like a year and a half of just having no social media app on my phone. But that shit was funny.
They shadow ban you. Everyone knows I was shadow banned on Instagram. People would go and say, hey, you know, he's running the algorithm, whatever term they use. And then I'd see on my Instagram that I had only reached 30 million people. And that's because Instagram, you know, was purchased by Mark Zuckerberg, who, from what I can see, has a left agenda. So
You think?
Facebook has a left agenda.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
The leftist
Oh,
agenda
okay.
of like I don't know, contributing to the genocide of Rohingya Muslims. You know, the left agenda of I don't know, being the most successful platform for right-wing misinformation. You know, that kind of left-wing agenda that's happening over there.
You see,
at Facebook, you know, I think it just means like Mark Zuckerberg is Jewish and therefore leftist.
I completely disagree with that. Because again, a lot of things, and this could, and it's hard to have conversations a lot of the time, because a lot of conversations that are being had, people love to go to numbers and facts and things of that nature, and like headlines and things that we can quote and tangible things. Completely understand. I'm Mr. Tangible Luke as well. Fuck you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I like shit to be tangible. That being said, though, as a black person, there's a lot of things that aren't necessarily tangible. That's life. Like, if you feel what I'm saying, I'm just being honest, and it's not biased. It's really not being jaded to certain things. It's like life. Like, I can tell the vibe of certain people, certain things, and things of that nature without you even saying a word to me. You don't gotta tell me Facebook is a leftist. I can tell Facebook is a leftist. Like, if you use Facebook, you can tell Facebook is pushing a certain agenda. I don't think it's a rightist agenda. In my opinion, Facebook tries their best to stay neutral, but they also, if we're going on a spectrum or a scale, if the middle is like completely neutral, they're like one tick over to the left. My opinion. You're more likely to get packed up in a split for a leftist, for a rightist, for people on the right sides, if you say something that affects them, excuse me, versus on the left. I hope I'm making sense, but yeah. You twirling. And I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. Like, we're probably one of the biggest places that still uses Facebook. At least, like, in my age range. Like, we still use Facebook here. When niggas all moved to Instagram and Snapchat, our black asses in Brooklyn and New York City was still on Facebook. So, like, yeah, I've seen niggas get packed up in a spliff by Mark himself. Like, we got a running joke. I don't know if it's in every other state, but in New York, we got a running joke where niggas at Mark for bullshit. Where he's just pushing, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Using their technology,
my opinion,
to silo any messaging that they don't agree with.
So
I agree with that.
Couldn't it also be that you have said things that offend the community guidelines, like anti-Semitic comments and things that are seen as insensitive and potentially threatening to communities that we try to protect?
Well, I don't like the term anti-Semitic. It's been a term that's allowed people, specifically in my industry, to get away with murder sometimes, literally, and get away with robbing and doing bad people. People always say, I got screwed on a deal. Would that become as a surprise to you if I said, hey, a music exec screwed someone on a deal? Does that sound kind of like normal, commonplace to you?
Yeah.
So for me,
it doesn't have anything to do with being anti-Semitic unless you believe that all record producers are Jewish, or, it's when you talk about Jewish people specifically as targeting them that creates a problem.
It's anti-Semitic, but I don't believe in that term. One thing is, black people are also Jew. I classify as Jew also, so I actually can't be an anti-Semite. So the term is actually, it's not factual. But
I understand you think that, but I don't.
Chris Cuomo, come on, say it. I know you want to say it so bad.
Say what?
What about Italians, Kanye? The community needs to know. What do you think about fraidophobia? I'm here to talk to you about what really matters. Just say it.
The fuck is fraidophobia?
It's written all over your face, man. Say it. Are Italians also Jewish?
Think about this. But let's just take a woman could have one bad man in her life that can make her dislike men. Mm-hmm. Let her have two. Let her have three, let her have four. There's got to be over 10 times that I've been screwed or bad business has been done with me just in the past 2 years. In the past 2 years alone. And what I'm doing, I'm calling out the Jewish community as a whole to say, people say to me, oh, we grew up on
I'm really trying to listen to Kanye.
Talk to your brother.
Like dead ass.
Ask him, why is Jay upset?
He's holding the Jewish community accountable, guys. That's what this is. A very reasonable take. Accountable for what? Owning the media.
Not
the banks.
In all honesty, it's not only, it doesn't stop at just the media, Hassan. Like, the Jewish community in a lot of aspects owns the black community. Whether or not people want to believe that's the case or anything like that. But if you look at the impoverished communities where people like me, people that look like me live in, a lot of the buildings, a lot of the stores, all of that are owned by Jewish people. And again, let me scale it back a bit. I'm talking about New York. Let me scale it back because I don't want to make it seem, I don't know the Jewish population in America to know how much they're affecting the world. And a lot of people that are Jewish don't even like recognizably dress like a Jewish person would, like traditionally how a Jewish person would. And I'm saying traditionally based on how I see them dressed in New York with their little fits, their little hats, the little sideburns. You feel what I'm saying? I don't mean to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude about none of that. But yeah, they don't dress like that. So like a lot of Jews, there's a lot of, for example, Aiden Ross is Jew. is a Jewish. Let me not say a Jew. Aiden Ross is Jewish. He doesn't identifiably look Jewish. So there's a lot of Jewish people that are running the world, in all honesty, and they don't just look identifiably Jew. So it's like, but back to let me go back a bit. They own New York City. Like, if you're trying to get an apartment in New York, you're probably going to have to talk to a Jewish realtor, or the person that owns the property is Jewish, especially those new ones where they have all of these requirements that are literally pushing the impoverished black community out of the neighborhoods that they live in. Like, it's crazy that I'm from Brooklyn, right? I'll give you a general area. I live in between, let's say, Crown Heights and East New York. That's like that's not too big, but it's, you feel what I'm saying? I could actually show y'all niggas on a map real quick. Actually, well, that might actually show exactly where I am. Let me not do that. But I live in that region, right? Let's say the region's this wide. I can't live where I grew up because they won't accept me for an apartment. Let's say I make $50K a year. That's not enough to get an apartment in the hood. And I live in the hood. I'm not gonna act like I don't live in I live in the hood. And I can't get an apartment in my hood at 50K, at 60K. I need 90K. Let's scale it back now. Let's say, you know what? Fuck it. I don't have enough, because you feel me? Everyone got their own requirements. So let me hit up my mom to be like my surrogate or whatever you call that shit, right? My mom makes well over 120K plus a year. Well over it. She doesn't have enough to be my co-signer. With me making, let's say I make 60. My mom makes, let's say, let me give her an arbitrary number. Let's say my mom makes 150. That could be lower, that could be higher. Let's say my mom makes 150. That's not enough for my mom to help me with rent that I can afford because the rent's $2,000. Like, let's be like, it's really a purpose. And people don't like to talk about the underlying things. They like to talk about straight statistical facts. Completely understand the statistical facts, Hassan. I really do. Not here to argue statistical facts because it's a losing case. However, Ye is not wrong in they fuck with the black community. They being like Jew, and it's, again, I don't want to make it sound like it's a religious thing or a cultural thing that Jewish people just fuck with black people, like as like a whole. I don't want to generalize things. However, Jewish people fuck with black people, like legit, the same way that the Asians mess with black people and niggas don't want to talk about it. Like the same way everyone messes with black people and niggas don't want to talk. They just, you feel what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all talking about? What? Like, come on now. Come on now.
Fuck, dude. He's insane.
What the fuck? What, Hassan?
Guys, that's what this is. A very reasonable take. Accountable for what? Owning the media.
They own everything.
And the banks. What the fuck, dude? He's insane.
When I wore the White Lives Matter t-shirt, the Jewish underground media mafia already started attacking me. They canceled my 4 SoFi Stadium shows, right? They had the press, the same people, the 78 outlets that when I was arguing with Pete Davidson and Trevor Noah, they called me an abuser for arguing with people about my ex-wife and my family and when I get to see my kids and when I don't. And they just immediately disrespect me. They keep the crazy narrative going. They never call me a billionaire.
Real talk, though. Actually, real talk. Do niggas think Kanye's crazy? Like, honestly speaking. Oh, wow. Someone just said, motherfucker said Jewish privilege. Joe, if you think, like, no. If you think there's no such thing as a Jewish privilege, you're white. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The Web Ranger, you're Caucasian. You're Caucus. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, you're white. If you could really type that shit on the computer, you're white. I ain't gonna lie. Because there's literally, you know what? Instead of saying Kanye saying the Jewish privilege, you know what would have been a better way to like sum up what he means? The non-black privilege. The mere fact that you're non-black means that you have a privilege. The mere fact that culturally speaking, actually, I'm not going to say that because I'm not trying to get niggas to take certain things I say. No, fuck it. Culturally speaking, the people that understand the capitalistic system of society we live in and exploit it and abuse it for the gain and growth of their community. The same people right here, right? This privilege, that's a privilege. That's a privilege. Like not saying that being Jewish didn't come with hardship. But those are not synonymous. You can have a privilege and still have hardship. You can be privileged, for example, to be LeBron James' son, Bronny. There's still hardship because you're black. Like there's the rich parent privilege and then there's the black hardship. So the same way that your community could have went through trials and tribulations. You guys, or the Jewish community then, was like, yo, we never doing that shit again. And I best believe you, they're never doing that shit again. So yes, there is a fucking... What was I
We
talking
never talked about, even on this one right here. Hey, tycoon.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. This nigga Kanye, if y'all think he's crazy, I'm not gonna lie, then a lot of people crazy. And then I'm crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. He spits... he be spitting facts. My opinion, at least. I completely, since like for a long ass time when people just trying to paint this narrative that Kanye crazy, I'm like, I don't see the crazy. I see him talking real shit. Like, I see him talking real shit. Shit that niggas don't want to talk about. Like, shit that niggas never want to harp on, think about, boldly say. Like, he's saying, what he's saying isn't incorrect. I swear to God. I swear it's not.
Visionary.
Dude, he's so petty, dude. He's like a kid. He's got like a child's brain. Like it's so incredible that he's going down these fucking tangents, and it all completely revolves around like everything that Kanye West has ideologically positioned himself around can be traced back to like petty grievances. Okay, a slight. You know what I mean? Like you could have
You say that, right? And
situation where like I don't
actually, I know what you're gonna say. I can conceptually get what you're saying, and it's not this. It's not him wanting his ego validated. He's speaking on the media and how they portray black people, and how to and he's using himself for an example because he's a fucking billionaire, right? He's a self-made billionaire. When Kylie became a billionaire, you know what every headline said. Whether it was a good headline or a bad headline, it mentioned somewhere that she was a billionaire. We like romanticize and idealize people getting this wealth and talk about how people are billionaires. But with Kanye, the narrative is only he's crazy. Not he's crazy, but he figured out a way to become a billionaire. You know who says that he's crazy, but he's a genius? Music fans. That's it. But the media doesn't. The people that are pushing the buttons and making the headlines and pushing certain narratives, they don't say Kanye West is a genius. They don't say Kanye West is a billionaire. They call Kanye crazy. The headlines are always a certain narrative being pushed, and that's what people don't understand. As a black person, there's always a narrative being pushed about you. Whether or not, like, for example, I'll give you a great example. LeBron James, right? LeBron is never in the headline for bad things. You know what the narrative pushed about LeBron is? That he's the good guy. That he's the guy that's never gotten in trouble. There's still a narrative, though. He's not just a human. Because majority of humans don't get in trouble. Like, but every single instance of them talking about LeBron is always brought up that he's never got in trouble. Why? Like, realistically, why? And I understand as a professional athlete, and you're more likely to get in trouble, and a lot of them do. And a large percentage, or majority of the percentage of the NBA are black, or the NFL is black. I completely understand that. But why is that the message being sent? Not LeBron James, look how great of a human he is. No. He's never gotten in trouble once. Versus Kanye, again, he's a genius. Not look at all the great he's done. He's on his rant again. Because even when Kanye's always been on rants. That's his Duffy, but that does not mean he's not a genius. That doesn't mean he's not a billionaire. If you want to say he's crazy, sure. But you also got to say he's a genius. To become a billionaire, you have to be a genius. Whether you guys want to admit it or not, to get to that stature, it's not just luck. You can luck up to 100 mil. You can luck up to, when you do 100 mil times 10, my nigga, you're smart. When you become the richest black man, and this is his quote, I don't know if it's true, but when you become the richest black man in American history, there's a brain behind that. It's not just craziness. And like, come on now, my nigga. Like, word. Like, come on. Come on. Like, come on.
Open the door for him, right? And then he's like, all right, all Mexicans are they're gone.
He's not saying that.
Jewish. The Mexican media is like destroying me. They're very rude. Mexicans need to start talking.
In all honesty, I've watched other
Mexicans like.
I'll turn this down for a second. I've watched Hassan and academics talk. Hassan speaks very white. I don't want to say this and make this a race thing. Actually, let me pause it. I don't want to make this a race thing. I'm gonna just let it play. I don't want to make this a race thing. But I do want to say Hassan. I want to hear Kanye. Hassan speaks very white in the sense of a lot of his takes are whitewashed. Like they're neutral based. They're not based on reality. And I understand reality is extremely hard to in all honesty use as a reference because of how much variables there are in reality. Everyone's reality is based on their own perception. Everyone's perception is based on their own reality. So like it's intertwined in a lot of the times, and a lot of the times there's not one consensus answer. However, there is, if you ask black people as a whole that grew up in a certain community, not even a certain community, that just didn't grow up rich, right? A lot of the things that Kanye is talking about, we'll have similar experiences and explanations to things, because there are underlining things that just happen that we swallow. Like as a community, we just learn to swallow shit. What he's talking about, niggas learn to swallow. Like, it became a running joke, you're gonna get a bad deal. You're gonna get fucked over your first deal. Like, that's the shit we swallow. Like, that people are going to exploit us. That there's not good food enough. Like, that shit we swallow. And who are the people perpetuating this? The people in charge. Who's a lot of the people in charge? I mean, like, come on, my nigga. It's not just white people. Like,
that is a figment of either your imagination or
because Jewish people are white.
Of a prejudice. Okay, you may have had bad business dealings with people. It's about those people. It's not about their religion or faith. And I know that you are intelligent and understand that when you target people because of their faith, other people may do so the same. They've been targeted before. They've been abused and killed because of what they believe and who they are. So we don't want to tolerate that.
Like, there is I mean, the final stage of this is literally him denying the Holocaust, right? Like, that's the only
nigga. Like, no. Because that's also what my boy Chris, I think his name is Chris. I know his name is Como. Fuck it. That's what Como is fucking. He's trying to walk down that path, and they're both trying to walk down this path of Kanye speaking more so about a religion, and he's not talking about a religion. He's talking about the people that practice said religion, that then identify themselves as that religion. For example, he can be talking about Christians, right? He's talking about the people that identify as Christians, not the Christian people themselves. So Jewish, the people themselves, the individuals that are Jewish, aren't evil, right? Or rather, just because you practice the Jewish religion, that doesn't make you evil. The people that are in power that call themselves Jewish, because people at this point call it an ethnic group. They call themselves Jewish. They're the problem. But sure, continue.
Like, that's basically like the remaining thing that he hasn't done yet. And I hope he doesn't do that. But goddamn, like, I mean, he's bouldering towards it. That's for sure.
And you're playing into that right now, whether you know that or not.
I won't tolerate it as a black person. What you just said was a statement. You're trying to say that there isn't a collective. Over 50% of the executives in Hollywood, the CEOs, are Jewish.
Talk that shit! We're gonna, like, come on now!
Guys, that's different than saying it's a mafia and that they act as Jews.
No, it's not! No, it is not! You wanna know why it's not? Because the Jewish community, from the moment the Holocaust ended, right? From the moment that tragedy ended and that impacted their community, their goal was to repopulate and gain the strength back of the Jewish community. They started moving like a gang. They started living in communities by themselves. They started isolating themselves. Whether that's a byproduct of what happened, cool, fuck it. I'm not trying to, you feel what I'm saying? But that is a fact. That is a fact. The same way Muslims look after each other. The same way Asians look after each other. Nigga, like, what the fuck? Like, come on, no, like, niggas, like, no, we're not gonna do this. Like, we're really not gonna do this. They are a gang. They are a mafia. They are a unit that move together. The same way that, with this logic, we can say the police aren't a gang. When they literally jack Blue Lives Matter, we could jack police on a gang. Like, come on now, my nigga. Like, come on now, my nigga.
In some way, as opposed to just being businessmen. One plays to a prejudice. The other one just plays to people and an ugly business, which is what the record business is. So, okay, you can have your feelings about it, just don't ascribe it to their faith.
But that's the thing, and this is the Jewish people. They've done a masterful job at marketing this. Like, they've done a masterful job. Who equates being Jewish to being a culture or an ethnic group? The Jewish people. They don't call themselves white, even though you're white. Like, if we're like, you're white, or you're middle, like, you're white. right? But we're not gonna call ourselves white. No, we're gonna call ourselves Jewish. We're gonna call ourselves our religious and then our religion. And if people speak about us as a Jewish person, now you're talking about our faith. And it's like, no. If you ask a Jewish person, what are they? They'll say I'm Jewish. They'll say I'm a Jew. They wouldn't say I'm white. I'm a white Jew. They identify themselves as their religion. So now when I'm addressing the Jewish population of people, I am identifying them as that, not as the religion itself. Because a Christian, if I came up to a white Christian woman, she wouldn't say I'm Christian. She would say I'm white. If I came up to a black Christian man, he wouldn't say I'm Christian. He would say I'm white. I'm black. The only group of people that if I ask you what you are, they'll say their religion are Jewish people. So you know what I'm going to call you? Jewish. But not in the religious sense, you fucking dickheads. Like in the sense that you refer to yourself as. Because do you refer to yourself strictly as a religion? Well, if someone asks you, what are you? What's your ethnicity? You're going to say Jewish and your ethnicity is a religion? No. Everyone understands it until someone speaks about the Jewish community. Then they're anti-Semitic. And it's like, how? I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the religion of Jewishness or Judaism, whatever that shit's. I'm not talking about that shit. You know what I'm talking about? You nigga. Like, come on now.
No, wait a second.
It's like if a nigga calls himself nigga. Right? If you walk up, if a person walk up to you, right, and they call themselves a nigga, like, yo, where are you from? Oh, I'm a nigga. And then someone's like, oh, he said he's a nigga. What does that mean? Is he saying that he's black? Or is he saying that he's a nigga? Like, I hope this shit making sense to niggas.
You can't tell me what to do or feel, first of all.
I know,
Facts.
but I can tell you what is wrong.
No, you
about what
can't.
you say.
No, you can't.
You said that it's not a mob. Mob culture, here's the idea of a mob. People target, there's no term. Have you ever heard the term the white vote? Because there isn't a white vote, because white people can vote the way they want. Black people, we fought. My grandparents, my mother fought in civil rights. My grandfather drove the first march out of Oklahoma. My mother used to work for Jesse Jackson at Operation Push. My dad was a Black Panther. My family are freedom fighters.
That's pretty embarrassing to say. Like, he's like, my mother used to work with Jesse Jackson, so now I'm just a fucking white supremacist anti-Semite. He literally was like, I'm doing everything to undermine and reverse exactly.
Hassan, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these topics, and I don't want to,
uniting the working class.
I don't want to make this a black versus white thing, Hassan. I don't. But you don't have the right to talk. Like, you really don't. Like, you don't have the experiences to talk. All you have are numbers. Like, all you have are numbers. Again, when I hear Kanye, I don't hear a white supremacist. I hear a realist. I don't hear an anti-Semite or Semitic, whatever you want to fucking call that shit. You know what I hear? Someone that's speaking facts. Whether you want to admit those are facts or not, whether those are facts, rather, let me even take away what you want to admit. Whether those are your life facts, don't mistake that for that being facts. Okay? That what he's saying are facts to a lot of people. What he's saying isn't just him talking out his ass to a lot of people. A lot of people that don't look like you. A lot of people that probably experienced a completely different life than you. So they're facts. Like, these are facts that they operate like a mob. The same way that a white person can say the police don't operate like a mob. And I'll tell you, them niggas do. And now that it became popularized to talk about the police acting like a mob, but they've been acting like a mob. They're continuing to act like a mob, and they will forever act like a mob because institutionally that's what it's made to be. The same way that people with money, the people with a lot of money rather, identify themselves as Jewish, not only as a religion, but as a person. Aiden calls himself a Jewish person. Or rather, no, Aiden doesn't. Aiden calls himself white, excuse me. His religious view is Jewish. That's a little different than someone literally, regardless. I'm getting off topic. I lost my whole train of thought. Bro, but y'all niggas chatting. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Like, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of that and, advocate for white supremacist values and further division amongst the working class. Holy fuck.
And we fought for the right to vote. You realize when I wore a red hat, my life was threatened.
I know.
By my Jewish managers, by my Jewish lawyer, by my Jewish accountant,
your lawyer
by my
and
Jewish
your accountant
friends inside the
your
music
life?
industry. Like, not specifically the accountant, but there were many people who threatened my life. Also, my family was
No, but he was Jewish, so I just added him onto the pile. You know what I'm saying?
So we're gonna
Like,
ignore the lawyer. He said,
literally,
"I, not the
yo,
accountant."
this is fucking
Specifically,
bananas. He has lost it completely. There is no salvaging the situation. There is no salvation.
I
You know?
disagree.
It's just
torn apart.
I completely disagree, Hassan.
Because of my ex-wife's
I'm probably
attachment
covering Como.
to the Clinton administration. I mean, they were getting my ex-wife to push the vaccination. I didn't realize how attached they were to the left agenda when I was
Vaccinations
there.
are not a left agenda. Yay.
Okay, I understand. Okay, not specifically the vaccinations, but period, that they're on Zoom calls during COVID with literally Biden and Kamala and Chris Paul and all kind of people, celebrities, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, all these same group of people that come and attack me for what they call wrong think groups, you know.
And look, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to say what people want you to say. But
I'm just trying to listen for a second.
Understand and accept what people will and won't tolerate.
I don't have to understand or accept.
He doesn't.
God, that's so American. I can't help but recognize that that is the most American sentiment, okay? That is at the heart of like 98% of conservatism right there. I don't have to understand or accept anything. I will maintain my ignorance on these issues. Fuck you. My ideas are just as important as everyone else's by virtue of me thinking them.
It's not even his ideas. Like, and that's the thing. Like, these aren't ideas. Like, I hate the way that the world has gone, because social media has made everyone a skeptic. Social media has made everyone knowledgeable. Social media has made everyone have the right to an opinion. But you cannot say, neither of you, Chris or Hassan, can say he's incorrect, because you won't face what he's talking about. Realistically, you won't. Realistically, you align with the side of people he's talking about. Firstly, so you wouldn't experience it. Secondly, even if you did experience it, you're not black. The experience that you would then experience even in that is completely different. Like, there's nuance to everything that we're talking about right now. And you guys are taking the nuance out just to statistically speak facts, or just to speak hyper literally. And hyper literally, Kanye's incorrect, hyper literally. But people need to stop speaking hyper literally and hyper facts based, because that's not life. That's not what life is on the ground level. That's how you can generalize life. That's how you can get a general idea of what things are happening. But that's not ground level life. And a lot of the plights and things that Kanye is talking about are ground level. They're boot level work. You got to be on the ground in that place to know what the fuck is going on, or you'll never know. I don't even want to finish this video.
I'm entitled. I'm the #1, baby. Which is really ironic, because they always say, like, oh, you're a snowflake. You're a snowflake, right? Conservatives love saying, like, the opposition is snowflakes. Then they get super fucking butthurt anytime you call them out on anything. They believe their opinions
I'm talking again about Kanye. I'm not talking about a conservative, a liberal. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. That's all the same fucking shit anyway. If we're being honest, it's all just, like, if we're being honest again, it's all just talking points. It's all just divisional devices made for division. All this shit is the same shit. The conservative niggas that are at the top fuck with the liberal niggas. It's all the same shit. It's just made for talking points and distraction. So, like, come on, my nigga. Like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all niggas losing me.
Disruptive or new.
Because people like to act so smart.
Old as shit, bro. Anti-Semitism is so fucking old. Like, it's literally like invention of Christianity era shit. Pogroms have been happening way before Kanye West decided to do the Gap collection. Like, you're going back to the old ways, like the oldest trick in the book. Okay, immediately blaming the Jews.
Hassan, that's what white people did. You feel what I'm saying? White people were being anti-Semitic. Not saying black people can't either. I'm not trying to talk about that. However, what you're talking about, and if I'm wrong, let me know if I'm wrong. I haven't done research in this, so I'm speaking off the cuff. But were Jewish people being, like, prejudiced? Were black people being prejudiced against Jewish people? I'm just trying to understand. Like, were we as an ethnic group, a race of people, were we being prejudiced towards the Jewish people? Or was that white people being prejudiced towards the Jewish people? So yes, Anti-symmetry, Semitic, whatever the fucking word is, I don't give a fuck, has been happening forever. It still will happen forever. The same way that slavery happened before white people got involved, and it's still happening post the black and white slavery, like the one that everyone knows about, right? The point is, though, how is Mr. West being that? And why are you drawing parallels to say that's been happening all the time? When again, it has. Not arguing it hasn't. But how is Kanye doing that? Firstly. Secondly, if you think... Let me not even say that. Let me not say that.
I stubbed my toe.
I gotta be careful.
That's just the way it was.
I gotta be careful.
For a very long time and still is.
They're not willing to understand or accept. And that's the reason why I'm not backing down. People have had their careers destroyed. That's why they keep on saying, "Oh, well,
Egyptians kicked the Jewish out."
Because he will keep talking.
Okay.
He will
It's
keep
what
talking.
you say. It's when you say Jewish people own the black vote.
They
When I wake
do,
up, I'm going,
my
"Yeah,
nigga.
you
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yo, this video, like, I'm really getting triggered because I'm getting triggered because it's people and even beyond. Let me take it out of the scope of race, because I've been speaking a lot about race and about the ability of a race of people to say something. Cool. I'm gonna take it out of white people though. You have not lived in the communities that they control. You haven't experienced the life that a lot of people have experienced, Mr. Chris. Neither have you, Mr. Hassan, barring your skin color. Because the thing is, if you grew up in a lot of these communities, you would probably feel the same way. You would probably, or even if you don't feel the same way, because that's a very broad thing to paint, you would understand Mr. West. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been pausing the show deep, but this shit's getting me tight.
Say coming from a place of intelligence or love or anything.
Fuck love, suck my dick with your intelligence.
I'm coming from a place of
fuck love
and a place of.
I'm tired of this fucking monolithic view of love.
By the Jewish
That's what white people love to do. They love to make blanket ideas of what love is, what being understanding is.
I know, but you have to understand this idea of the Jewish media.
Dude, we've seen how quickly once you like allow these kinds of fucking opinions that thrive in mainstream circles. We saw how quickly white people mobilize, right? We saw how quickly racist people mobilize. We saw it went from like Donald Trump saying like, "Why can't I say these things? Come on," to just like Jews will not replace us at Charlottesville in a matter of months. That is the unironic fear that I have here. That like, I mean, I think a lot of people see him as I see this moment as a fall from grace for Kanye, but there's still plenty of people who probably are like, man, I love Kanye West and I think he might be right about this stuff. I mean, after all, they are trying to shun him. They are trying to silence him. You know, you're starting to see people in IG comments say, "Ye has a point." Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Oh, Lord, yo, I'm not gonna lie. This video is triggering the fuck out of me, and I could pause every 2 seconds to talk about this.
Respect.
I've listened to it. You've made it several.
I'm pretty sure I got the gist of it. I'm gonna just leave my closing thoughts on this. Kanye is not crazy. I don't personally believe Kanye is wrong in anything he's saying. We can argue whether his words are the right choice of words, but the sentiment and his messaging behind what he's saying is not incorrect. It's just not. I'm sorry to break it to niggas. I'm sorry if niggas don't want to hear that shit, but Kanye is not wrong. The Jewish community, not the Jewish religion, but the community of people that identify themselves as Jewish, not identify themselves religiously as Jewish, but culturally and ethnically identify themselves, and probably even as a race. I don't want to go as that far, but they probably do view themselves as a separate race. They identify themselves as Jewish. And those people are a mob. They're a mafia. They monetized. That's the word I'm looking for. They've successfully monetized the impoverished black communities. They've monetized being black. They've monetized it. Because behind everything that is black culture, I'm pretty sure you would find a Jewish person running it. Whether or not... We're not even going to get too far. But yeah, he's not wrong. You guys, niggas could just argue it all day, all night. But he's not wrong. He's just not. I don't take it as anti-Semitic, especially if this nigga's saying I'm Jewish too, and then says we are Jewish, in the sense of including everyone. That's not what he's talking about religiously. That's not even what he's talking about historically. He's talking about the people that identify themselves as the fucking Jew. Lord, son. If you guys fuck my reaction, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This shit really got me hot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't finish this video. I'm gonna catch y'all on my next reaction though. Argue if you want in the comments. Fuck with y'all niggas. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. This shit got me tight.